Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Life-Undeferred OPEN MIC. We're going to talk about how to pivot during your midlife. And we have got a phenomenal guest on tap for you today. I'm so excited to bring on my friend, Dr. Joe Hill. Just a quick little update here, what's happening here in the world of Life Undeferred. As you probably know, first of all, thank you for joining us here this morning. But I kind of did this because I lost my identity. And so I lost some of my platforms, and I wanted to talk. And so I started this show, as we're calling it, Open Mic here several months ago. And it's been a lot of fun, but I got a lot of things cooking for 2025. I'm working on a brand new website, brand redesign right now. And then step 2 of like 5 for 2025 is to launch an official show. I'm so pumped about that. So I'm working on that. This is the first time I've even alluded to that on social media. So you're the first people to hear that. But even though I want to start that, I kind of want to keep this show going. So hopefully you've found some value out of this, but probably once or twice a week around Saturday for sure on LinkedIn. I hope to bring on more guests, and we really talk about breakthrough and business, and keep it a little bit more business savvy, since that's kind of the sense or why people are on LinkedIn on this platform, which I'm a huge fan of. Not to mention folks on Instagram are watching this as well. But I want to keep this going, even though Life Undeferred is going to continue to grow and expand into 2025. So a little update from that camp there, and look for more episodes like this in the future. Let's get to our guest here today. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. We have got an amazing guy on tap for you today. From dominating the football field to revolutionizing education as a high school principal at just the age of 29, to crushing it as an Ironman athlete, our guest today knows a thing or two about breaking through barriers. But when life threw him a curveball at 45 years old, I'm 46, by the way, with a health scare, he didn't just bounce back, he catapulted into his greatest chapter yet. Now he's an executive coach, teaching leaders how to build healthy cultures and highly reliable systems. He's living proof that your second act can be more extraordinary than your first. Get ready for some breakthrough energy as we welcome the man who lives by faith, leads by love, and embodies his motto, average don't float. Dr. Joe Hill, my friend, great to see you.
Oh, just super pumped to be on the show, Jerrid. Thank you so much.
I went to the barber today and I showed a picture of you, and I was like, I want to look like this guy. He's got the coolest look. Did we pull it off?
And then, yeah, it's the hair, and then you get smart glasses, and you can be the dumbest guy in the room, and people go, "Hey,
these are a weak prescription, so these are not just purely for looks, but I love you, man. It's great to see you again.
Likewise. I absolutely love what you're doing on all sides.
Likewise. We met many years ago. We did a speaking event together. You're a giant coach and an executive leader. Let's just get right into it. We don't have a ton of time. I love how you pivoted midlife. That's the title of this show. What do people need to know based on some of the things that you learned when you started pivoting in your mid 40s?
The first thing that comes to mind, everybody says, well, you got to have the courage, right? You just got to like double down. You got to grip hard. You got to have courage. I don't believe in courage. I actually don't believe in courage. Now, people are probably leaning in right now. I believe in action. I believe that you have to step out absolutely in just raw, naked faith sometimes to build courage. But you don't get courage by reading a book on courage or getting a pep talk by Jerrid on courage. You just got to get out there and like drop the trapeze wire. And that's what I did. I call it Joe point 1 to Joe point 2. I'm living Joe point 2 right now. And it's after you drop the trapeze wire and you learn that there's a lot of life that can actually flow through you that you never, ever, ever knew that you had before dropping it. Because we tend to just kind of grip out of just the traditional mindset. And I know you do a ton of work around mindset. I'm blown away by your book and some of the principles in there that says, you know what? We all have a DNA to win big. All of us do. There's no excuses, right? So talk me down and ask me some more clarifying questions.
Dude, I love everything you said. Messy action comes to play, like where you just have to get in the game. And I don't know, Joe, like I don't have any scientific proof to back this up. And this is just my feel, and no disrespect, because I lived in that camp for so long, but like 95% of people, they will let that fear of the unknown and that feeling of the uncomfortable prevent them from ever, as you say, letting go of that wire. What do you tell people to get them to be ready or inspire them to actually do it?
First, it's not for everybody. I mean, if you got a primal root that goes down into, I must have security, it's real hard to coach somebody to do the unthinkable. Yeah. So I'm always prospecting. I'm always prospecting for people that have had enough life thrown at them, right? Mm-hmm. Tell me somebody that hasn't like entered into this arena of 40 something, moving to 50 something, that hasn't had the slats kicked out from underneath them. And you just go, it's the greatest gift you can have. 45 years old. I'm talking to my wife about, I think we need to have a significant life event. What would it be? Should we move to Finland and, just do something silly? And I'm talking to her while I'm going in for some tests because I had routine hernia surgery after my third Ironman, and it threw some stuff. And I'm like, I'm not feeling too good. Well, I ended up in the ICU that same day with blood clots, pulmonary embolism, and a doc looking at me saying, I've never seen anybody escape this. You should be. He said, you cheated the devil. I'm like, oh. So I burned the time out, and I'm looking at my wife going, I'm not, okay, I might have cheated the devil. I might have like not died, but I am fully aware that I'm not living. Mm-hmm. Right there. It was just this. And it was a crossroad. It was a decision time where I needed to go, do I want to just live this average lifestyle? Because average doesn't float. It's just the noise out there. I was stuck in an airport yesterday. You just see the noise everywhere. Okay. God bless all people, but there's just a lot of average walking around our malls, our parking lots, our airports. And I wanted to figure out how do you differentiate? How do you rise above that noise of average? Because we all are capable of it.
Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Man, I mean, you're speaking my language here. To me, that's what life deferred is. The meaning of life undeferred is like stepping into that realm, something that resonates with your soul, that's so powerful, but will take you taking risk in some capacity,
right?
Doubling down on yourself. And I love the idea of letting go. I've gone through this mental exercise with friends who have kind of been through my own like kind of mental transformation over the last 3 years. And I asked them, I said, what could you have told me at that point that would have made it click? And so many of my friends have said nothing, because you weren't ready. There's that old adage that says when the student is ready, the teachers start appearing, right?
Exactly.
Like, is it just getting to the point where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of being stuck in mediocre? And also too, like, what is like that first thing that people can start doing to like start making the cogs of the wheel come together, where they can start stepping in that? And
Here's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the first thing you got to do is realize that you're trading your life for a paycheck. And it's got to be a fair trade. It really has to be a fair trade. So purpose is everything to me. I am so relentless to purpose. I could live under a bridge and be on purpose and be the happiest dude on the planet. But I think believing that you deserve to win is the first place. You have to have that belief that says, you know what, it doesn't matter. I grew up in a home of 2 alcoholic parents. Okay. I grew up going to the other line for lunch tickets in school. I grew up enjoying, school. I accelerated in all things fun, but not studying. My ACT score, no lie, I've seen it on the back of a few quarterbacks. Okay. But it didn't slow me down, because I had people in my life who helped me believe that I deserved to win. Yeah. That was step one. You just got to tell your brain, you got to set that thermostat to go, I deserve to win.
Yeah.
That's job one. Job one.
That's a huge step. I've come across people that have been attracted to my message, and they forget that, and they kind of lose themselves. And then eventually, if you sit in that long enough, you don't believe that you ever had it, and then have no idea how to step into it.
Think of so many people that are standing in line, you know, handing out resumes, going, "Pick me, hey, pick me. I want this job." And you're in a long line. You're in a big file of other people that want this. There has to come a point in life where you say, "I'm picking me."
That's right. Yes, I love that.
I'm picking me for the very first time. I'm going to pick me. I'm going to create a preferred lifestyle. Now, I am in a covenant relationship with Miss Becky, my beloved of 33 years, dude. Okay. That's we were like best friends in high school, and then we got married. That's my joke. We're still kind of friends, but we love each other. We're just wired way different.
Starting to get serious.
we're wired way different than each other. But I think it can't be a selfish pick me either. I mean, you can take this to the extreme and go, you know what, babe, I'm dropping the trapeze wire, and wish me luck. Honestly, before I did that, I said, hey, here's what I'm thinking about doing. What would you need? Because she's all about security. Okay. And I have to love her with all that I am. Okay. So she said, yes, go ahead. But here's what I need to see in the bank account before you do that. Okay. Because I want our feet to be firmly planted, on the ground while you're chasing a dream. Fully supported, but I had to earn the right to do it. Not sloppily, right? Not selfishly. So I think that's another real big key.
I just did a poll on Instagram, and I said something to the effect of like, what keeps you up at night? Living somebody else's dream, trading time for money, like you said. Feel like I'm not failing, but playing small. And man, I just had a wide variety of answers, but a lot of people felt like they're playing small. And so I did a follow-up, and I said, if you can understand that you're playing small and you're not really living that life that just truly lives with purpose, to your point, that really resonates with the soul, what's holding you back? A lot of people have said just in the last 24, 48 hours, I lack a sense of clear direction. Do you come across a lot of people in that camp? They feel called to more. I'm not suggesting quit your job. That's not what this is about. It's about stepping into something that's more in alignment, but they lack the clear direction. What are they, in your opinion, what are they searching for?
Yeah, people circle. I mean, they'll just sit and wait. They'll just sit and wait. I need the epiphany. I need to be told, I believe in calling, but I think you have to walk. There's something, and you can only experience it after experiencing it. You have to walk into it. You have to walk into your calling. It's what ensues. I've tried to pursue so many things in life, and you get tripped up, and it's like, no, that wasn't it, because it didn't bring me joy, or it didn't happen. Right. I think it's the along the way principle. And I've done some writing on that as well. It's the most beautiful things that you find while you were on a journey to something else altogether. Right. That is where the clarity is found. It's kind of mysterious. It's hard to put your thumb on it. It's hard to write a research paper that would say, or a blog post. Here are the 4 points to defining your clarity in life. It's not that simple. It's not that easy. Yeah. It's mysterious. It's sloppy. It's painful at times. But you got to lean into it. You got to start walking into it. It's what ensues in life, not what you pursue.
Whew, I love that. I've never heard that before. That's great. I'll tell you this will lead to a question, I promise. But I made my decision on January the 1st, 2022, where I was like, I'm done living in this defensive mode. I'm going to start playing offense. I'm done saying no. I'm going to start saying yes. Then all of a sudden the door started to open up, and I did start to say yes. I give myself a lot of credit. At the time, though, I was still kind of stuck and rooted in fear and scarcity.
Yeah.
So I was pursuing things that were really just kind of, I wouldn't say get rich quick scheme, but they were really about just making money. They weren't really in alignment, and they all fell totally flat. Here I am now 3 years later, pouring all of my time, effort, energy into building my platform, but it feels different because I feel like this one is now in alignment to kind of my higher calling and purpose. But it took that, like, kind of that journey, so to speak.
Yeah.
It did not happen overnight. Talk about the importance of making sure that the consciousness is right, the heart has to be right, and that mindset has to be right. Otherwise, you may waffle as well. I mean, do you have any insight on that?
I look for the right word. What is at the center of, when you were describing that, what is the word or the phrase? I use peace. You can use happiness. You can use joy. Whatever that center circle is for you. I found peace when I figured out, again, purpose is everything. So what is it that has me running to do this thing called worthy work? Yes. I can't wait every morning to get up and go, whoo, let's do this again.
Yes.
But there's also, I think, core elements outside of purpose. There's just the place that you happen to be in. I followed your journey a little bit. You changed your place. You just changed your zip code. It did the same. My wife and I, we actually moved to where we're at currently. We live in the East Metro. We moved here without clarity of a plan. It's like, for the very first time, we want to live in a community that we want to live in, instead of where the job happens to be. Well, who does that?
Right.
Who does that? But it created all sorts of open doors. It was another courageous move where we just said place now has to be important. Yeah. And new people in our lives, surrounding ourselves with people that we're going to both encourage and challenge the snot out of us.
Yes.
Okay. I had to repopulate my wisdom table because I had some bozos at the table. Joe point 1. And Joe point 2, I've got some of the most renowned, loving people at that table that are serious butt kickers of me on a regular basis. So you've got to find the right people. Provision's a big thing, Again, you just got to have enough you can't dream too much if the gas tank is empty and the furnace is kind of rattling, right? So you just got to figure out a way to kind of tighten up the belt there.
Yeah.
And I'll throw one more in because it's personally very, very important to me. It's just your physical health. How important that must be in aligning all this thing that I call peace. You got to be, drinking and eating things that bring you energy. You've got to wake up going, I kind of feel rested. Let's get after it now. So those core pieces, I think, are all instrumental in coming together with this thing called peace.
Amen, man. I love that because it's really, it's addressing the whole self, the whole being. I think that there was a time probably, not that long ago where it was really all about making more money and success. And I think I feel there's been a shift where like now, like the new success is drinking water, peace, happiness, getting sleep, healthy body, but money in the bank account, purpose. To your point, I think that is just a massive piece of the puzzle. My mentors, I'm trying to build a business. I mean, if you're following me, you notice like I left my W-2 job. I'm making a shift, doubling down. This is me and my biggest alignment, most abundant, aligned, authentic self. But my mentors, if they hear an inkling of me making it about the numbers and about the money, they're very quick to come back. That we're talking about souls. Like you get in front of a group of people, whether it's 1 or 100 or 1 million. You're talking about people's lives that you are able to shine light to. And that brings me back to center. It seems like if I focus on that, I love what you said, where I wake up and it's like, this isn't about like more transactions to make more money. It's about doing really good work. That's something so powerful. I love how you teach that. I appreciate that.
And your ability then, once that is crystal clear in your head, again, it's never easy to get that, but once you get it,
yes,
then you have to like eviscerate all distractions. And you become this singularity of focus to say, I'm not looking over to see what the neighbor's driving.
That's right.
And want that W-2 job again. This is my channel. And I need to run every day in this. Yes. Good days and bad days. I call it, I stole it from Jim Collins, but it's the 20-mile march. You get up and you just start marching every single day. Even though you might feel like doing 40 miles, do your 20 miles. Okay. Stick to the knitting, whatever it is that you are called to do, right? Stay to it and eviscerate your distractions, get rid of them. For many years, I had that. I can just do the sound icon for you. Da-na-na, da-na-na. I would sit there and watch replay after the same replay after the same replay and think, wow, how much more influential I would be today if I didn't spend all that time watching the SC, right? I don't know. Maybe I just poked somebody in the face.
It's such a powerful thing that people need to hear because it's rooted in truth. And I love what you said too. And again, I'm talking to people on this call who maybe feel that nudge or have felt it perhaps for years or decades. Once you get to a point, and Dr. Joe, I want to hear your opinion on this. And I know what you're going to say because you always said it. You get to a point and then you're like, there ain't no way I'm going back. What's my alternative? Go back. And again, to all due respect to my previous jobs and careers, they're fine. They treated me very well. But once you get to a certain point where you're stepping into your fullness, dude, the thought of going back is it's not even an option. You can't go back once you start playing this game.
I'll push back on that a little bit because I'm still like lined with skin. You pull this little black sweater away, I've got skin all over me. And there are days when I wake up and go, man, I wish life were a little bit easier. I wouldn't mind having that paycheck coming in every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
This independent work where you're out freelancing and kind of building your own thing, it's high risk, high freedom, but it's high risk. Okay. You have to give up that security in order to have freedom. That's a life principle, right? And I don't think you can have both. Mm-hmm. You can have either security or you can have freedom. It's your choice. It's your choice. So I'm pushing back a little bit. There are days, honestly, where I go, oh, it would be nice to have a little more security. Because in this business, you go from, what are we going to do? That was some good coin to, oh my goodness. Hey kids, the Christmas gifts this year, you're going to be a little bit lean.
I don't want to push you on the spot here. Again, this is not poo-pooing W-2 jobs and the corporate world.
No.
Knowing what you know now, could you go back?
It would really depend on what the opportunity was.
Yeah.
If I could be 100% on purpose, living in the place where all those, if it brings peace, yes. I don't know that it really matters. I'm not idolizing this, doing what I have been given the privilege of doing. The goal, again, it's purpose. How do you maximize and amplify your purpose? Doesn't matter I guess the road you choose, as long as it's the one that is widest to possibility.
Amen.
Right?
Yeah. That's great, dude. We could go on and on and on. We got to do a part 2 sometime. I want to start wrapping this up, landing this plane. First of all, I appreciate you taking time. I've been wanting to reconnect with you for a long time. I called you the other day. I was like, let's reconnect and do a show together, and we can knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. So it's been incredible to reconnect. I love your energy. I mean, we are definitely like on the same wavelength on so many ways, but I read your stuff on LinkedIn. Tell people where they can find you, and I encourage people to give Dr. Joe a follow because he's incredible. But tell people where they can find more about you.
Yeah, mostly LinkedIn. That's kind of my one and only place that I know how to play. All the kids, do the other channels, but that's middle to old guy channel. LinkedIn, Dr. Joe Hill. You can find me there.
Well, I encourage people to check out Dr. Joe. He's an incredible guy. And please, can we do this again sometime? Another 20 minutes? Let's bang it out, right?
How about tomorrow, or is the next day better for you? Right?
I'm going on a cruise next week. So maybe from the cruise ship.
Dude.
That's not a bad place.
I can't wait to see your tan lines or whatever.
I love it. Brother, appreciate you so much. Let's do this again sometime.
Peace.
All right, David. Hey, I hope you enjoyed Dr. Joe Hill. What an incredible guy. And I knew he was going to bring the heat, and just some incredible nuggets there. The purpose thing. I mean, how do you pivot midlife? Is it going into entrepreneurship and get away from W-2 work? Not necessarily, but it's stepping into who you are, where you are expressing your most authentic self, whether that's W-2 job, volunteering, entrepreneurship, whatever. So anyway, great stuff. Dr. Joe, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hey, let's do this again sometime, maybe next week, shall we? Let's do it once we get home from the cruise. We'll see you next time.